Yes, the president
Should be getting
Look at the size. So we're okay. Tree. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's been.
There we go.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Clausen.
Here.
Commissioner Cox.
Here.
Commissioner Graven. Here. Commissioner Phipps.
Here.
Mayor Hall.
Here. Consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted by one motion. No separate discussion of these items will occur unless a council member requests the item to be removed from the consent agenda. If an item is removed from the consent agenda, it will be considered elsewhere on the agenda for this meeting. Prior to asking for a motion to approve the consent agenda, the mayor will ask if anyone desires to remove an item from the consent agenda for public discussion. Is anybody would like to remove an item from the discussion on the council? Okay. I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July 16th, 2024 and special meeting of July 23rd, 2024, and the bills and payroll for the last half of July 2024 and the mayor's travel and training expenses. Can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
And roll call.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven.
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. Presentations, petitions, and communications. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for persons who desire the council to address the council. The Illinois Open Meetings Act mandates that the city council may not take action on comments received on matters that have not been identified on this agenda, but the council may direct staff to address the topic to refer the matter for action on the agenda for another meeting. Persons addressing the council are requested to limit their presentation to 3 minutes and to avoid repetitious comments. We would also ask you state your name and address for the record, as well as stand when speaking. Would anybody like to address the council tonight? Yes, sir. Okay, we got two. Sir, if you'd come up to the speaker up here, the podium, you do you first. And just state your name and your address, and you've got 3 minutes.
Evening, everyone. My name's Ernest Roberts. I live at 1117 Prairie, Apartment 1.
Okay.
I, just to put it bluntly, I'd like to know when it became a crime to sit at the library and listen to audiobooks.
That's your question?
Yes. Several years
Can I interject?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
When was this?
27,
What time?
12:15 a.m. approximately.
12:15 a.m.?
Yes.
So they don't want any, it's not a crime unless you are asked to leave and you don't leave. They don't want anyone on their property after close because of damage and graffiti and things like that. So we would move anyone from that property after close. They don't want people camping out there all night.
The director of the library, the assistant director, and several librarians. It is not a crime. I've never done nothing wrong there. And the one time I've seen something bad happen in a park, I just got to clean up after his dog. He wanted to kick my rear end, but his dog got cleaned up after. This isn't my library. This isn't my parks. This is our parks, our library.
The parks had hours too.
Well, yes, and I respect that. They say close at 11. I live it. But there's nothing at the library that says that.
That is the director's wish to us. I talked to him again yesterday after you did to confirm that, and he said, yes, we'd still like people removed after dark. He did ask in your instance, if someone's just reading an audiobook, does that make a difference? And what I told him was, what you do for one, you have to do for all. We can't just remove some people and not remove others. So either they want people there after close or they don't. At which time he told me yesterday, no, we don't want people there after close. Continue to remove them.
And why is the Wi-Fi signal on? It's free. It is a public library.
That's what
When people are there, trouble does not happen. It's when you chase off all the good people.
there's a history of
You
trouble
bet.
happening there at night.
Can you stop talking over me? When people are there, the bad things don't happen. Someone's there to call the police, say, hey, something's bad going on here. You chase us all off.
Historically, that's false.
All right, I'm not getting nowhere. So this is now a crime. I will be getting a civil rights lawyer. I would hope this wouldn't be necessary. I mean, it is federally funded library. So we can't afford lawsuits in our town. Not for something as trivial as this. I've been doing this for several years. Some nights I sit there from 10 PM to 4 in the morning, just sucking up an audiobook. It's on video in the library. They see my entire action the entire time I'm there. No one has ever bothered me before. I've seen cops come by countless times. I'm just sitting there listening to audio. And now I'm a criminal because I do that? That's not right. That's not just.
If you want to have, your 3 minutes is up, but if you want to have time to talk to us again about this later, we'd be happy to talk to you about it. But at least we know what the concern is and we'll try to do what's right.
I plan on being back there and doing this again at night.
All right.
Can't sleep, got restless legs. It's over a half a mile and I walk my achy butt up there. Right now, my sciatics are going nuts down to my knees.
Okay.
I still do that.
Okay.
I'm here about this. I'd much rather be laying in bed now trying to ease the tension. But I have to be here for this.
Okay.
Because something I do is now a crime.
Thank you. Thank you. Sir? Yes.
Chad Reagan.
What was his name again?
Chad Reagan.
Chad. Okay. Thank you.
Issue I have is, well, it's several different departments, mainly right now, the water department. I got property on, 4 Military, we got 43 years roughly, I'm since 7 years old. Well, this past, I gave it to my sister, providing I could stay in the garage and person started the issue, that was whole ordeal. She had me evicted through the courts. And long story short, she ended up signing the property back over to me, so she didn't make mockery of court. And during this process, she got several order of protection, and, just drug me through the ring to the court, Recently, I've been trying to help her, female, she's got 4 children. Her children's father's got history, drug problem, been arrested several times, in jail, and she was in a domestically violent situation. So I thought I'd at least, with my problem, help her get out of that. She had an incident where officers have been called out, because his family had started stuff, and they suggested she go get an order of protection, which I suggested several times. She wouldn't do that. Second on city, but the judge denied, said he needed to be notified. Who said in the county jail? I mean, how there's notified. But anyway, long story short, today, I said, I have a past speed water bill. And I spoke to him about this before. And partially, I feel I'm responsible for some of the bill, but we're talking a $6,500 bill. Tell me how one person gets $500 bill and you sit there matching the whole thing. In a single family residence, just for the person. What it boiled down to was I had an ex that was living there. And after COVID, when it started then to shut off again, my bill run, yeah, I'm responsible for some usage. I let it go and paid. I'm not denying it. But the person that was staying there, sure he's familiar with it, Bethany Scott, I guess she called her doctor and had them fax a note to the water department. They turned the water back on. My water was shut off at this time. Bethany was not my wife. She's not my dependent. She's not my child. But I don't feel responsible for her getting that turned on, her medical. Why they turned it back on mine, I don't know. I don't feel responsible for that. That was wrong. I mean, guy owned the property. Yeah, she lived there. We might have been dating at the time. But regardless, they sent me $6,500. I come up, talk to him at the time, like, Mr. Rudolph, president. And they said they would take care of the late fees. Well, I got my final bill of $6,500. They said they would take care of the late fees, they'd take them off, and I'm set to go and sign the agreement. Well, all this stuff going on, the property's changed name, you know, we're still kind of consistent with that, but they fell through and were signed back over to me. So
Would you, we're over the limit now, but what I'd like to do is us do some investigation. You could come back in and talk to us again.
Situation right now. Okay, this lady's living in my house. She got no place else to go.
What,
County will give her an emergency hearing. You know, she's got a date 20-something of, you know, this month. And.
we really can't do anything about it. Dan's our city attorney, but
I mean,
Uh,
this is not really the forum for this, sir, but we
well, it
can.
is because
No, it isn't, sir.
Well, I tried contacting these people sitting up here in front of me, and it's like impossible. You know, getting an answer sheet. Did you have what to over me? Yeah, he didn't even address me. He said hi when I come in, but he never, you know, mentioned to call. You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
well, again, we need to keep.
Bill, regardless of what the amount may be, my point is, it's not her responsibility. Like, she got 4 children that need water. Okay, how do you raise 4 children? How's that water? That's tough. All 5-gallon buckets, have 5-gallon buckets.
Yeah.
You know, just to flush the toilet. You know,
Okay.
I'm not trying to not pay my bill, but I'm not agreeing with $6,500 bill.
Okay.
And this
Sir,
needs water.
we're
I
going
can- you want me to go, I can go get more information from them.
I mean, or we can arrange to,
The late fees. So he owes $1,863.53.
And I
And
agree.
I sent him an email. Our policy is to have the bad debts paid off before water is reinstated at any address.
okay.
And he asked for a payment arrangement.
And I was offered one before, but not now.
That's when you were going to live there. You're not living there now, and we have no way of collecting that. You'll step out on that just as like it
I
doesn't
didn't
happen.
figure out anything. I'm standing here before the day. I haven't admitted. I'll
Okay.
pay my fair share of it.
Okay.
I feel responsible for $4,000 of late fees.
So she clearly,
I agreed to waive those.
And you did.
And I sent you an email telling you what the balance would be.
And you said you couldn't offer me a payment arrangement, which I was told before, that I could sign a payment arrangement. That's what I was told.
yeah, we
First time.
really do have to end the discussion now. We think we know kind of what you're talking about. If you want to come in and talk about it again, we can talk about it again. But we don't, you're not allowed to go on any longer than anybody else. And I think we understand basically.
Special.
Okay,
But that means something, you know.
okay, all right. Yeah,
Just,
Okay.
we explaining her to the children,
All right.
not punished for my failure to pay a bill,
okay.
you know.
I think we understand. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We're ready for new business.
Okay, I make a motion to adopt special ordinance number 2024-1913, authorizing the mayor to sign an outright grant agreement by and between the city of Mattoon and Jasper Holdings LLC, reimbursing up to $35,080 from Midtown TIF revenues over a one-year period for roof replacement and/or repair to the building located at 1420 Broadway Avenue, and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement.
Can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Cox, and any discussion or questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Raven? Yes. Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt special ordinance number 2024-1914, authorizing the mayor to sign an outright grant agreement by and between the city of Mattoon and Washington Savings Bank as trustee of trust number 5133, reimbursing up to $23,827.50 from Midtown TIF revenue over a one-year period for the roof replacement and/or repair of the building located at 1101 Lakeland Boulevard, and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement.
Can I have a second to this motion?
Second.
Commissioner Cox, And any comments on this one?
Just
Any questions?
one, there's a little bit of demolition included in this as well, just for everybody's information.
That's what I was going to ask, because I didn't know we did TIF for houses. We're not
Yeah,
doing TIF for the house. I saw
the repairs are to the pole barn
behind,
building behind the house is being demolished.
and the TIF money is going to demolish part of that house too, or
Yeah.
is that,
And then he'd be using it as a commercial building after that to hold on.
which he does now, right? I mean, has in the past.
It's not ready yet, but it needs work before it gets there.
It used to be. I mean, it used to
Yeah, it used to be a restaurant at one time, barbecue restaurant. Before that, it was a carpet cleaning
Yeah, I knew
place.
that. Okay.
So is this the first time we're using TIF money for demo?
No,
About
no, we tore down
residents?
maybe of a residence. We tore down a couple buildings where the subway is on Lakeland Boulevard. We tore down a gas station where the car wash is at Marshall and Lakeland Boulevard. We paid for demolition of a couple commercial buildings on Charleston Avenue where CVS is. So, you know, that
So it's
is,
not the first time.
no, definitely not.
Is that, is the house zoned residential or commercial?
Commercial.
Any other questions, comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Graven,
Yes.
Commissioner Fix,
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Cox,
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt special ordinance 2024-1950, authorizing the mayor to sign an outright grant agreement by and between the city of Mattoon and Tuscola Properties LLC, reimbursing up to $4,000 from Midtown TIF revenue over a one-year period for the demolition of the building located at 1208 Charleston Avenue, and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement.
Can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Cox, and any comments or questions about this item?
Again, this is just demolition of the old Long John Silver's building, so
Okay.
hope to see some redevelopment there in the near future.
All right. Any other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Fix.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven,
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. I move to adopt special ordinance number 2024-1916, granting a special use to operate a dairy goat farm in the mile-and-a-half area outside of the city of Mattoon, located at 5626 North County Road, 650 East. Petitioner is Casey Ritchie. Trustee is CKC Farm. Can I have a second to that motion?
I'll second it, Mayor.
Dave, any comments or questions on this one?
Main thing is just it passed the planning and zoning commission
what I wanna know.
unanimously. And outside of that, if anybody has any questions, the representative from CKAC Farms here tonight. So
And agriculture is allowable under special use in the mile and a half, so,
it's worth noting that there's really no nearby residences.
right.
Thing that I need to clarify with the planning versus later, special use permits do have a time frame on them. Is that
So you
correct?
have 2 years to start,
Start.
and then once it's there, it goes with this owner. So
Correct.
if it sells to a different individual, the special
Because I know
use.
you'd indicated it would be a little bit of time, but you can always come back and reapply or
Yes, we can extend it.
extend it too, so.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Commissioner Cox,
Yes.
Commissioner Graven,
Yes.
Commissioner Fix,
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
A motion to adopt special ordinance number 2024-1917, ratifying the successor two-year collective bargaining agreement with the ASCME AFL-CIO, Council 31, Local 3821 in the city, and authorizing the mayor to sign the agreement.
And a second on this motion.
Second.
Commissioner Clausen. And any comments or questions about this item?
I was told the ASME took it to vote last Wednesday night and passed it pretty unanimously. So, yes,
Okay.
our turn to make the pass.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Cox,
Yes.
Commissioner Graven.
Yes.
Commissioner Fix.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen,
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. On this motion, it's slightly revised. I'm going to read it with revisions. I move to adopt special ordinance 2024 1918, establishing the 2024-25 compensation plan for managerial and non-union, non-management employees for the municipality, and change of the administrative assistant, one, prior to May 1st, 2024, to $58,106.66. Can I have a second to that motion?
Should be 58,016.
Did I not say that right?
116.
Okay, $58,106.66.
Nope, it's $58,016 and
No,
60.
I'm reading the revised one.
Is that
Yep.
not the one you just said?
Yeah. That's what we
Okay, well, this one's different then.
This is, what he read was correct.
It's not that?
No, that's a type.
Okay, so the one that I read is correct, so.
What he read was correct. The one you gave us is not. Okay.
Good typo.
Okay.
That's what was throwing me because you gave it to us right before the meeting, so.
Sorry, Rick.
Sorry, Rick.
Yeah, I,
116. Yeah.
okay, the number again is $58,106.66.
Correct.
106.
106.66.
Okay, now,
Reverse the 1 and 0.
Yeah, okay.
so can I have a second to that motion?
I'll second it, Mayor.
Okay, Commissioner
Sorry
Phipps.
sorry for the confusion.
And now any questions or other comments?
No,
I knew you were right on.
Like
Uh,
20 minutes off the press.
How about roll call?
Commissioner Raven,
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. And that was it. Okay, I move to approve council decision request 2024-2528, approving the reappointment of Ed Dowd and Dean Willerette to the Planning Commission with terms ending 8/17 of 2029. Can I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Commissioner Graven, and any questions anybody has on those?
Might want to tentatively put a gag order on the first person. Other than that,
Yeah.
He's on vacation.
Yeah. We might, that'll probably take a special action or some kind. Okay,
I don't think his wife's going to let him.
go ahead.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Raven.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
I make a motion to approve council decision request 2024-2529, approving the water and sewer billing adjustment in the amount of $4,662.88 on behalf of Greenfield and Greenfield LLC located at 600 Charleston Avenue.
And can I have a second to that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Cox, and any comments on this one?
So this is the car wash at 6th and Charleston. And the leaks span 2 billing cycles. So 2 months were adjusted and a total of 4662.88.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Raven.
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Abstain.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. I move to approve council decision request 2024-2538, authorizing the purchase of 2 2021 Chevrolet Blazers in the amount of
Yes, go ahead, sorry.
$54,310.06 from Dan Pilson Auto Center, Inc., and authorizing the community development coordinator to complete the transaction. Can I have a second on that motion?
I'll second it, Mayor.
Commissioner Phipps, and any questions or roll call on this one?
Again, we just had budgeted to replace one vehicle this year. We were planning on buying a Ford Explorer through the state bid. They had $45,000 budgeted. The other vehicle that we had that we hoped was going to last a few more years started ticking in the engine, and so we've regrouped, looked for some used vehicles. These are slightly used, a couple years old, less than 20,000 miles. And we're able to get 2 of them for just slight more. And then we will sell the other ones, but the extra cost will come out of the video gaming equipment fund.
Okay.
So
That makes sense? You okay? You had a question mark on your face there. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner
Roll call.
Commissioner Cox.
That wasn't very nice.
Abstain.
Commissioner Graven,
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve council decision request 2024-2531, authorizing the full-time employment of Jessica Steiner as ambulance billing clerk with a salary of $40,019.20 with an effective date of August 5th, 2024.
Could I have a second to this motion?
Second.
Commissioner Clausen. And any questions about this one?
Mine says August 12th.
Her actual date's August 12th. It has been changed a couple of times.
Okay.
Her final full time will be August 12th.
This is the one I printed off earlier, I
Okay.
assume, and made some notes on there. So my apologies if there's been an updated one on there. So
It was back and forth for several days.
I got you.
I'm being,
Um,
which one's right on it?
So can I repeat?
Just tell me you want to change it to August.
Change it to August 12th,
Thank you.
2024. Thank you.
Cheers.
All right. We had a second on that one, and
Yeah.
we're ready for a roll call.
Commissioner Graven,
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
A motion to approve council decision request 2024-2532, awarding a bid in the amount of $111,902 from Groundworks Construction for the 2024 sidewalk contract.
And a second to that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Clausen, and any comments that we have about the sidewalk bid or, yeah, any?
Sidewalk front Burgess, some on Western, take a look at it around the YMCA.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Had, I don't know what, 4 or 5 different bidders that
I
came.
think there's 4 different bidders on it.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2024-2533, awarding the bid in the amount of $22,676.68 from Varsity Striping for the 2024 MFT striping contract for various streets.
And a second to that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Cox. And any comments on that striping contract?
Most of that'll be in the downtown areas on Broadway.
Okay.
So
That'll be done after the construction's done or? Okay. All right, any other comments, questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven.
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. Department reports, starting with City Administrator Kyle Gill.
Been very busy the last week, working on these ordinances, some of these ordinances, making sure everything was right on the ASME contract, trying to make sure everything was right on the salaries, which we still messed up a little bit, but we got corrected. And now it's just working on easements for the sewer line back to the plant. Met with Rooking, met with Overton's and trying to get a meeting with IOOF on getting a final agreement to easement prices. And so trying to get that taken care of this week. I am planning on being gone next Monday and Tuesday down south, moving my daughter into an apartment in Chattanooga. Other than that, I'll open it up for questions.
Questions for Kyle? City Attorney Dan Jones.
A couple things on the legal front. We had a hearing on the Quackenbush matter on August 1. Each side presented a plan to Judge Bovard about a plan for remediating the property, the Broadway property. My timeline was a little faster than Tim's lawyers was, and so Judge Bovard took it under advisement. He's going to issue a written opinion about what he wants to see as far as progress and timeline, and I'll share that as soon as I get it. Brown Shoe is up next Monday, the 12th. I know that David Nelson, the principal of Site Right, has been served, ordered to appear in court on the 12th, and if not, judge has said he will indicate issuing a warrant for his arrest, so we'll see if he shows up or not.
That's next week.
That's next Monday, yes, the 12th.
Okay. Any questions for Dan? City Clerk Susan O'Brien.
I worked on the council packet, prepared various reports and insurance issues, and that we did receive a petition for referendum to adopt a managerial form of municipal government with a public hearing to be held on August 16, 2024 at 11 a.m. in the Coles County Courthouse.
Any questions for Susan? Okay, Finance, Beth Wright.
So the promise at the last meeting, I distributed the June report. Revenue fund, 4.46 million, expenditures of 3.24, giving a net of 1.23. I would note that property taxes came in at the end of June and then weren't distributed out to the pension funds until the beginning of July. So that net figure is a bit skewed. Cash position overall, 27.9 at the end of June versus 26.5 at the end of May. The biggest difference was in the general fund, which was the property taxes. Major sources of revenue, received notification of the PPRT just this morning. And so I've updated that section of the report. Year over year, we're down just over $500,000. And about 300,000 of that is property tax, which is just a timing issue. The 200,000 is the PPRT, and that's for the permits. So everything else is pretty much flat. I do anticipate property taxes coming in any day now. Last year we received the disbursement on August 5th. So hopefully by the end of the week we'll have property taxes in the end. And then unrestricted cash in the general fund, 10.47 million, 10,470,000. At the last meeting, it's 11,863,000. We don't have shared revenues in yet. And in addition, we've been spending some of the ARPA money. I think this meeting was done about $400,000.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any questions for Beth, anybody? Okay, next on the list then is Public Works. Stepping in is Alex. Wait.
We had a meeting out in the sports complex today. Stuff is moving right along. Should be able to see stuff open by hopefully the end of the month out there. Sounds like. And
That would be, you say you were going to have somebody open up at the end of this month?
possibly, and one there together.
Yeah.
Like Chick-fil-A and Five Below, I believe, are moving right on track to open up, so.
Excuse me, I think Chick-fil-A asked that their water be turned on later in September.
Yep.
So they pushed that back.
Okay. So they're probably turning it over to them on the end of August, turning it over to those businesses for them to start.
Anyway, it's full steam ahead out there, so
Very good.
everybody's working.
Time crunches.
Any other questions? All right.
Question for Beth real quick. What was the 400,000 on the, we spent on ARPA?
We
Sewer pipe, I think.
sewer pipe, air release valves, rise frames.
That's for the sewer line project.
Sewer line project.
Okay.
That's when we had these special meetings.
Yeah.
That we approached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. No other questions? Then we'll go to Fire Chief Jeff Hilligoss.
Thank you. Since the last meeting, you guys have answered 192 calls for service. Inspectors have been spending quite a bit of time out there at the complex area. We've been out there the last 2 days because in the indoor facility, they are going to be laying the floor in the gym. I say gymnasium, that thing is huge. But they're going to be putting the wood floor down.
Right.
So we went out and pumped water into the sprinkler system to make sure that there were no leaks prior to them putting all that wood floor down, because they aren't quite ready to hook up and flow it yet. So we've been out there the last 2 days helping them, and knock on wood, everything's going well. So there is a lot going on out there. Like Alex said, but yeah, they're moving around. Just after our last meeting, last month, we did have a fire at one of the abandoned trailers at 609 Marion. So on the 17th, then the guys have been doing quite a bit of training. We've sent our first group of guys up to Chicago to O'Hare to get their live airport fire training completed. The next group goes, I believe it's next Thursday. Then our 11 guys will be all certified. So other than that, it's just been pretty much business as usual. So all I've got, unless anybody has any questions.
All right. Any questions? Yes.
Kyle, was there any change, update that you're aware of about that trailer court area on 6th Street? They were looking.
They were looking to remove a lot of those trailers and move some of the, I guess, couple of the, what they would consider good, out to Old State Village. And then they were talking about demolishing the rest. Last I knew, Alex and I talked to them.
That was their plan. That's what they would like, but they are running into ownership problems with some of the trailers still have owners that are abandoned, and the cost to go through that whole court system for them to get it to demolish it is quite expensive. So,
You have any
Yes,
input on?
we've spoken with two of the owners, like the actual partners on the property. I just spoke with one probably 2 weeks ago. And so they're trying to move some nice new stuff in. Like there's this very interesting kind of double wide type deal they have, but it looks like a duplex. So, they are trying to spruce some of it up. That said, they just did some work there without a permit. So we'll be following up with them on that. They started to put in like a new water sewer system there and didn't get any permits, anything like that. So honestly, really low faith that they're actually going to be able to go through what they're suggesting to Kyle and myself, just given Jeff's comment. And we're going to be maybe helping to make that more feasible in the future if we're able to get a TIF district in that area. Just because, some of this development can't happen without additional funds. So, ideally, that's kind of where we're at. And there's probably going to be some more code enforcement coming out there too.
Right.
Good, because it's a nice neighborhood that has a extremely
Blighted property.
blighted property, good sized property in right in the middle of it. So
Bad part about it is there's at least 3 people that I know of that want to buy it. They don't want to sell it without selling Old State
The other one.
Village or the other one.
yeah, that's
So,
correct.
the all or nothing, and they don't want that one out there, so,
Yeah, that is the downfall. Yeah.
yeah.
Mayor, I've got one more thing. So I have. Last meeting, I reported that we had a truck, we had one more to pump test and had some issues with it, had to be towed back at the last meeting. I got word today that the transmission is out of it. To rebuild the transmission is $13,000. So I'm looking at what we can do the cheapest, but right now I'm without. It's our reserve engine, so it's nothing front line, but another pretty costly repair coming up. So that's all I got. Way to end on the high note, right?
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for Jeff? Mattoon Police Department, Chief Gaines.
They're staying busy, doing a good job, continuing to do a good job. We had, in the last 2 weeks, because I forgot, it's been 3 weeks since we met. In the last 2 weeks, they had 1,055 calls for service. There were 55 arrests made in those last 2 weeks. We have, this week, I'm busy with Safely is in town in the building, switching all of our body cam and in-car camera storage over to Nexus that was on a previous council CDR. But that's getting done. It's gonna be quite the job to get all that video switched over, so hopefully that'll go smooth this week. That's all I got.
Any questions for Chief Gaines? All right, then we got Arts and Tourism, Angelia.
Working on Bagel Fest and 4th of July reports. I guess it's been 3 weeks since we've been here, so we had a Bagel Fest. It went really, we had gorgeous weather and great numbers, and I'm excited to put the report together. I think we outdid ourselves in some ways. Not every category was a record, but there were some records, so that's good. Working on the building lights project downtown, meeting with the building owners and setting some of those things in motion. I met today with Peyton Morrow, who's our local artist here in Mattoon. We're working on some potential ideas for downtown. He's just a high energy, creative guy, and I'm excited about what that can look like. We're also looking at some things maybe for the Christmas season specifically for downtown with him. Mindy and I have a meeting this week with Tyler and Ryan from for Emerald Acres to talk about a marketing partnership, kind of what's that look like going forward now that Ryan is the new marketing person. And I just wanted to make note of our constant contact list, which I'm sure you all read religiously. But we have this crazy thing happening, and I used to have real trouble in August getting anything on the calendar, anything to say, because once we got through the summer season, August is kind of a dead time. We've got just this weekend, 10 events happening, but also 11 musical things happening in Coles County. So the music, I cover Coles County, the rest of it's Mattoon. But that's an incredible jump in the last couple of years in terms of what activities happening. So I know there'll always be conversations about what we need, but I really think we've got some things happening there that we should take notice of.
There's a major concert. Is that this weekend?
Yes,
At the Peter?
Focus this weekend. Roll King has at Peterson Park 3 Christian artists on Saturday from 5 to 10.
That's actually the biggest concert of the year, isn't it? It's bigger than.
They're anticipating 5,000 people.
It's huge, but we've had a couple things that hit that same number.
Yeah.
But it's a cool thing because they donate the money back to nonprofits.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, any questions for Angelia? Community Development, Alex.
Yeah. Got the Community Development Institute coming up, August 12th to the 15th. So I'll be in Springfield for that. I'm both, going to the advanced year training, and I'm also presenting for year 3. I'll be talking about the Move to Mattoon program, marketing rural communities. Outside of that, the week after that, going to Washington, D.C. as part of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's Business Leads Fellowship Program, where we're going to be learning about how to help the child care situation right here in Mattoon for our workforce. We were one of 34 cities that were picked for that, so it's pretty neat. From there, I will be going also to Indianapolis to meet with the folks from Make My Move. They've invited us out there and kind of asking us to restart that program again. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Whitney, John, and I are working on the OSLAD grant for 2025 this year. If you go out to Lake Mattoon, it's just a night and day difference in terms of what the grant from last year was able to, achieve for us. And we talked new moving a parking lot, we're getting a bunch of playgrounds now, kayak launch, 15 piers being installed next week. It's really giving that whole area a facelift. And I think it really puts Mattoon and the region on the map for things like tourism, stuff like that. So, and just quality of life, right? So, going from there, I think we're able to significantly boost our capacity as a community by getting more funding for projects out there. This year, we're talking, maybe some pickleball courts out there and a bunch of other exciting stuff for residents and people at the lake. Outside of that, we're going to have a public hearing about that on the 20th before the council meeting. And then outside of that, we got 3 demolitions completed over the weekend. I can give you addresses if you want. The most significant one was a property out by Lytle Park. Again, kind of gave that area a bit of a much needed facelift at the end of Commercial Avenue. And then we also, last but not least, hosted a creative economy workshop as a partnership with Mattoon in Motion and Pam Schauhorn, a community development educator from Illinois Extension. And it went phenomenally well. I think we had about 14, 15 people come out. Surprisingly, had a bunch of folks from Charleston come out as well. So, just a lot of great ideas came out of that I think are actually actionable. So happy to take any questions. Well, thank you for the vehicle purchase, because we really need. I think we're kind of at the point where like one of those cars, just to get the transmission and the window fix is more than the value of the vehicle. So thank you.
Alex, is the OSLAD application due middle of September?
Yes,
Is that right?
13.
Okay.
And we basically already have a template, so I just need John to get me new quotes. We gotta do the public hearing and then smooth sailing.
And maybe any other ideas we want to throw at you for that?
Absolutely.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Next part is comments by the council. I'll start with Commissioner Phipps.
Hey, glad to be back in the States. We've got a lot of good concrete sharing, cost sharing projects going. As Dave said and Alex said, that really benefits the community significantly, and we've invested a lot of money exponentially over the years. Meeting next week for pre-construction on the laying this pipe that we spent the money on, the ARPA money. That's on the 12th. So that's going to be a good project. Obviously, the rain has delayed it a little bit, but looking forward to get that done. Route 16, I don't know if Alex mentioned this, but the Route 16 resurface project has not been letted out yet. It's not on the schedule to be letted out. So most likely, if it doesn't get on in the next one, it may be pushing next year before.
So the route, the one that starts there at 35th Street?
No, it
One that starts at Lakeland Boulevard.
goes out to Source Drive.
Okay, yeah.
So IDOT's a little behind the 8 ball on that. They still have a few easements to secure, but other than that, that's all I have.
Any questions for Commissioner Phipps? Commissioner Clausen?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things. The pump that we started this process for the water treatment plant back in January has arrived in that last week. And then Heather and AJ, they're going to work on getting that hooked into the computer system. The advantage with that pump is if we have to pump water from Lake Mattoon, we can pump directly to the water treatment plant. And if we have to bypass Paradise, we can do it with this. Pickleball course, you guys get a chance. The fence went up today. Looks really, really sharp out there. Thanks to Commissioner Graven, we now have a process in place for people that do want to make donations. Appreciate all your help on that, Sandy. And then, Rick, I may be stealing your thunder. The public hearing, Susan, did you say is August 16th at the courthouse on the city manager?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure I wrote that down right. Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Just a comment for you, Dave, is that pickleball courts are getting a lot of exposure. And a lot of people are talking about them. Came up today at the board meeting of the sports complex board. And there's a lot of overflow. And might, they would like to work something out with having some indoor pickleball at the sports complex during off times. But I know some of the pickleball players don't like to play on hardwood floors, although they do that at the Y.
At the Y.
So there may be some opportunities there that are going to come up for some of those people. But that's just the amount of growth in that sport is pretty great.
Yeah, is Tyler the contact on that?
Yeah, Tyler Yoder. Yeah, he's
Get a hold of him.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So next, Commissioner Cox.
Thank you, Mayor. I was going to I was going to pass and say I didn't have anything, but it drives Sandy crazy when I have reports, so I'm going to just throw a couple things out here. But I did have I emailed a few of you last week, and I wanted to share with everyone here this evening because I had the opportunity to sit down and talk with a lady from Houston, Texas last week. She was in town with a mutual friend, and so I had the opportunity to have dinner with them, and it was the first time I'd met her, first time she'd been to Mattoon. And she's, like I said, from Houston, Texas. She's lived out east in the past, and she really raved about Mattoon and all the amenities and both the kind of the what we expect, kind of the down home, downtown, middle America type of community that we have, but also a lot of the what she phrased, the progressive type of things that we have going on. There's a lot of things going on. She was very impressed with our library, the history museum, the depot, the downtown area, the cleanliness and the friendliness and the kind of safety aspect of the community. So I just wanted to pass that along to everybody because you're all a part of what goes into making those things, because people do notice them when they come into town and they spend some time here. And it is a great little community, and we have a lot to be proud of. And sometimes, as I was telling her as we were talking, it's so easy that you see it every day and you drive by it every day that you kind of just go through with blinders on sometimes. But there's a lot of things to be proud of about Mattoon, and a very exciting time with a lot of changes and growth going on, and it's a very exciting time for the city. So I just wanted to pass that on to everyone, and thank you for all your efforts. And also for the police department, very nice job on the situation 2 nights ago. A little scary situation, but once again, don't come to Mattoon if you're going to be doing some bad stuff, because you're going to get caught, right? So bad situation. Good job, and appreciate the service. That's it.
They did a great job, without anybody getting hurt. Them or the suspect, even in custody, took a gun off the street. Yeah, just a really good outcome. Could have been that.
And a bad dude.
Yeah.
Bad guy off the street. So, and Flock really helped with that.
They did.
That was key. Yeah. Any questions for Commissioner Cox? Now, Commissioner Graven, you have an opportunity to see if you can take over from Commissioner Cox.
I have nothing, Mayor. That's
Okay. Best report. That's the best report so far, so we'll keep it that way, except I don't want to match you exactly. Just a couple things that I'd like to mention what's been going on. I spent time on the sports complex and fundraising over the last couple of weeks, and everything I will tell you is on target. There's always opportunities to, make some improvements, but I think everything's going really well. There's really good opportunities out there for us. The housing committee is coming along, I think, really well. We've got some opportunities for new housing in the city of Mattoon, both apartment complex, residential development, some single family kind of opportunities, and that's great. I've gotten several calls from people over the last week or so about yards, junk left out in their yards and trash and that kind of things. And I know the police department really doesn't have time. Realistically, there's other priorities for the police department. But I call them when I get complaints, and I ask them to go out and serve notice to the people, and they do that. But I know we don't have time to do the minor things normally, because there's just that many other things going on just by the number of, activity, the amount of activity that you got. So one thing I would say to everybody, if you get a chance to go to the library, this week, Chris Surdick, after a lot of work, has done a display of what is known nationwide as the Big Dig. And the Big Dig is when they built the train below ground level in approximately 1915. So it's over 100 years old. There's photos and drawings and things of the Big Dig. And I think potentially this effort that Chris Surdick has gone through is going to get national exposure for the city of Mattoon.
Wow.
And it's that big. And even though it happened over 100 years ago, it was a leading engineering project back in those days. If you can imagine trying to dig dirt out with thousands of carloads of dirt with the technology, no vehicles, no cars, no trucks, to dig that hole that they named as the Big Dig. And it got national exposure when it occurred, and I think we're about to get it again. So I would encourage you to get down there and see that, and hopefully see what Chris has done on that project. So
I think it said 400,000 cubic yards of dirt was moved. 400,000 cubic.
without trucks and bulldozers. Can you imagine?
That's for trucks.
So, okay, that's all I've got on that. Any questions anybody might have for me? I move that we recess to closed session pursuant to the Illinois Open Meeting Act for the purpose of discussion of collective negotiating matters between the city of Mattoon and its employees or their representatives, or deliberation concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees under 5 ILCS 120 2C2. Could I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Commissioner Graven, and when we go into executive session, we're not going to take any action when we come out. I don't know how long it's going to take. You're all welcome to stay, come in and see us close the meeting. But we are going to go in there and I don't know, again, I don't know how long.
I don't think I'll take
So,
half an hour at the most.
you need to vote on this, right? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Commissioner Raven?
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
At this time, I'm going to pause and mute until we get back from executive session.
Right.
Now. Yep, okay, we're back.
You're in charge.
Mayor,
Yes?
I make most to adjourn.
Okay, I have a second.
Second there, all right.
Commissioner Phipps? Commissioner Phipps did that. And, all right, Paul, roll.
Commissioner Graven?
No.
Commissioner Phipps?
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen?
Yes.
Commissioner Cox?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes the meeting.